was born on July 22 of 1822 on Heisenberg, Austria. As a child, I used to work as a gardener, and I studied beekeeping, and it cultivated me the love for biological sciences. Later on, I went to University of Olomouc, where I kept studying philosophy and physics from 1840 to 1843. That same year, I began to my training as a priest, and I joined the Augustinian Abbey as a monk. Then, the monastery sent me to study at the University of Vienna, to study with Abbot C.F. Knapp. There I studied physics and mathematics, under the teaching of Christian Doppler and Franz Unger. I rejoined the monastery in 1853, and I was motivated by my colleagues to keep studying on plants. Later on, I began to conduct my own study of plants in 1856. I studied pea plants and recognized 7 different characteristics in all of them that remain over generations. These characteristics included shape of the plants, height of the plants, shape of the seed, size and color of the plants. Later, I began to cross-pollinating the plants with contrasting characteristics in order to study the effects of offspring. I collected the seeds of the offspring and analyzed them for various differences, like in color, shape, and size, and also compared the different heights between them. Over a period of 8 years, I examined the plants, pods, and seeds and made observations that will form the basis of genetics. Now I'm going to explain the 3 of the laws that I stated. The first law, which I like to call the law of dominance, it says in a cross of both parents that appear for contrasting traits, only one form of the trait will appear on the next generation. Offspring that are hybrid for a trait will have the dominant of the phenotype. Then, while conducting my other experiments, I found another observation. I like to call it the law of segregation. During the formation of gametes, the 2 alleles responsible for a trait, they separate from each other. Alleles for a trait are then recombined at fertilization, producing the genotype of the traits of offspring. Finally, there is the law of independent assortment. I call it like this because the alleles from different traits are distributed independently from one another. For example, when having a tall plant, it doesn't mean that it had to have a green pot. It can have a green pot or a yellow pot. It separates independently from one another. And those were my 3 laws. If someone asks me what I think about what I have discovered, I will say that I am amazed of all the things nature does. I'm amazed because I think the same thing happens with humans. With these genetic laws, we can predict the children of human parents, like if they will have any disease or any different traits. And who knows, maybe we will discover a whole new branch of medicine with these laws. I have been taught about hybridization during my school days. I was influenced by both scientists and colleagues. During my days, I attended the University of Olomouc and was influenced by Johann Carl Nestor, a friend and scientist who was interested in hereditary traits and agriculture. After the university, I used to taught at Brunn Modern School. Another teacher, Alexander Makowski, specialized in botany and geology, which he used to study flowers, also motivated me in the process. Okay, so now I'm going to explain my 3 laws using the Punnett square. Suppose we want to cross 2 types of plants, a tall plant and a short plant. Well, to do this, we must use a Punnett square to see the outcomes in which the offspring will come to. Well, the alleles a tall plant have, which may be this, which mean are 2 dominant alleles, and the alleles that a short plant has are like this, which are 2 recessive. So if we cross them in a Punnett square, we will see this outcome. But first we put this allele and the second allele, and we put the short plant allele and the other allele, and we should cross them on a Punnett square. So this capital T comes with the small t, this capital T comes with the normal t, this capital T comes with the normal t, this capital T. So we can see all of the possible outcomes are heterozygous, and which are like, yeah. So will it be short or will it be tall? Well, in this case, since we have a dominant gene, a dominant allele, combined with a recessive allele, since it's dominant, it's going to be show the dominant one. So the plant, we have 4 possible genotypes on this Punnett square. So the plant will 100% be likely to be tall, since it shows this phenotype, and this is the dominant one. So this is how the Punnett square is shown to determine if the offspring of a plant will be short or tall, or will have any different characteristics according to their parents.